Coming up on today's video, is Britain gone down the toilet? Did Andrew Tate predict what would happen in Baltimore? And are men really just full of hot air? Find out on this week's episode of The Internet Today. And here's your host, Jack Queen. Hello everyone, how you all doing? It's Jack Queen here, the cynical Brit with comedic wit. I hope you're keeping well, and if you're not, sorry about that. And a big welcome back to the highly anticipated, lowly rated series that is The Internet Today. This is a show where I look for stories on the internet, I make a few jokes, we have a bit of a laugh, and hopefully by the end of this video, you leave feeling a little less sad. So with that being all said, let's get into the video. How the Baltimore Bridge spawned a torrent of conspiracy theories. So, if you have been paying attention to the news this week, you may be familiar with the disaster that happened in Baltimore, where a container ship lost power, lost control, and crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. And if you're not familiar with this story, then where have you been living? Under a bridge?
Yes.
Whilst numbers are uncertain, it's presumed that at least 6 people have died as a result of this disaster. But no sooner had this crash happened, all the conspiracy theorists showed up. Because as we all know, nothing can just happen in today's world. There's always a reason.
And it's not always the reason you think it is.
This has led to some rather interesting comments, sparking controversy around the incident. Fox host Maria Bartiromo decided to use the incident as a way to blame Biden's immigration policy. In a recent conversation with Republican Senator Rick Scott, she said, "The ship involved in the collapse of the bridge is 948 feet long, called the Dali, a Singaporean flag container. But of course, you've been talking a lot about the potential for wrongdoing or potential for foul play given the wide open border. That is why you have been so adamant," she added. Not quite sure how this links to Biden's immigration policy, but hey ho. Knowing them, they probably thought that all the shipping containers contained a load of immigrants. If anything, they're probably happy the ship crashed. It's kind of funny too, because Maria, she's Italian-American, or as they like to say, Italian-American. Although in my view, I think she slurped on a bit too much spaghetti, because that's all that's in her brain. But the conspiracy theories kept coming. US House Representative Phil Lyman, who, you'll never guess, is also a Republican, also tweeted on the incident. "This is what happens when you have governors who prioritise diversity over the well-being and security of citizens." A typical talking point for Republicans is always mentioning this diversity hire. This idea that people just hire minority groups as a way to tick boxes instead of hiring strong, highly trained, highly skilled, alpha, male, manly, male, men, straight, man, male, white, men, straight, male, man, masculine, men. Like Republican politicians. And we all know that people of colour, or the POC, according to most Republicans, they don't work anyway. Unless you're Candace Owens, in which case you, oh no, wait. She doesn't have a job either. And don't even get me started on the gay dem, the non-binary dem, the tran dem, the bi dem. They're too busy steering the gay agenda to be steering a ship. He then goes on to later claim that it wasn't him that put out the tweet. It was a member of his staff. I mean, it just goes to show, right, if this is the kind of tweet that they would send, whether it was them or not, it says a lot about you, how comfortable they were to tweet something like that in the first place. You twit. Of course, when there's any incident in world news, you can be assured the conspiracy theorist influencers are not far behind. Including top G Andrew Tate, who tweeted, "This ship was a cyber attack. Lights go off and it deliberately steers towards the bridge support. Foreign agents of the USA attack digital infrastructure. Black Swan event imminent." Now, much like Mr. Tate, neither of us know the mechanics of what goes into steering a ship, but who does he think is bloody controlling it? China? Russia? Like some sort of weird game of Baltimore battleship. Then, well-known conspiracy theorist Alex Jones popped in with, "Looks deliberate to me. A cyber attack is probable. WW3 has already started." Knowing him, he'll probably blame the Japanese. I mean, after all, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor in 1941, and now Baltimore's been bombed in 2024, and Baltimore rhymes with 2024. So, coincidence? I think not. Just to put these two into context, one is under investigation for sex trafficking in Romania and rape charges in England, and the other has recently had to pay out millions of dollars for defamation charges on the Sandy Hook shooting. Neither of them have any knowledge on the situation, and to be fair, neither do I. But it certainly doesn't give me an excuse to just start making shit up. Not to mention that it takes away from the fact that people have died as a result of this, and there may be more. So to have to listen to this nonsense that's going to get tweeted to millions of their followers, and for what? Nothing. just to stay relevant. I'll tell you what, the sooner we can put those two both on a dinghy with one paddle between them and no Wi-Fi capabilities, the better off the world will be for it. Meanwhile, back in my country, the United Great British Back Off, Rishi Sunak urged to hold summer election as aides fear he cannot hold on until autumn amid Tory rebel plot. This has come off the back of recent pressure from the current party in charge, the Conservatives, over fears that members of his party may try to kick him out if he tries to hold on for the mandated election in 2025. The only problem is, if the Conservatives don't win, which according to recent polls is looking more and more likely, then Labour will win. But people are so fed up with 14 years of austerity at the hands of this Conservative government that the people have spoken and they finally want to change. To Tory 2.0. Politics? Ha! More like politics, am I right? And the thing is, on paper, if you look at Rishi Sunak and Sir Keir Starmer, they both look the same, minus the slight differences in pigmentation and the fact that one was born without a neck. And if you're a right-wing British voter, then I've got to say, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Chat Queen. How you doing? Did you get lost on the way to the toilet? And second, congratulations. It doesn't matter which side you vote for, you'll be alright. But it does make you wonder though, what the hell do they even go on about in Parliament anymore? Like years ago parties used to argue, now it's more a case of who can be the more agreeable.
Prime Minister, fishy snack.
Thank you very much, Mr. Squeaker, and can I say I'm very excited to be bringing this new Tory government forward where we can define what a woman is and spread our transphobic message across the country and across the United Kingdom.
Dame Fear Charmer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Squeaker. Now, we did bring in the mother of a deceased trans woman a few months ago, but that was only as a power play to pretend that Labour cares about the trans community. We promise, as part of our manifesto, that we will never define what a woman is because we actually agree that trans women are not real women.
Prime Minister, fishy snack.
Well, firstly, I'd like to thank my right honourable friend for his agreed stance on this. One thing I can say that the Labour Party doesn't have is token Muslims, which we do. However, we pick the good ones, so we're confident in backing Israel by not calling for a ceasefire to allow Israel to do what it needs to do to protect itself from these stone throwers.
Dame Fear Charmer.
Mr. Squeaker, has the Prime Minister forgotten that I am a human rights lawyer, and so I do know the difference between right and wrong? However, on this occasion, I agree that there should be a delayed ceasefire, as I am very confident that Palestine can survive without food and water. If there's anything that we've learned from this conflict, it's that Palestinians are a very resilient bunch.
Fishy snack.
Once again, I would like to thank my right honourable friend for his agreed position. However, I'm quite confident, given their lax border policies, they would be quite happy to let all the Palestinians come here so they can take food and housing from the great British people.
Fear Charmer.
Actually, Mr. Squeaker, if the Prime Minister paid attention to my actions, he would know that we are also in favour of having a select border. We were happy to support the Ukrainians and bring them in solidarity with Ukraine. However, we also do have concerns about non-white immigrants entering our country, and we promise to deliver on this and keep a stern border as and when we end up running this country.
Yeah, well, you've got no neck.
And you've got no spine.
You've got a fat head.
And you smell a bit.
And now we move on to shorts and sweets. This is the part of the show where I find some short and sweet stories from the internet as a way to round off the show. It's also a gentle reminder to just tickle the like button and give the subscribe button a little tap, and if you wouldn't mind leaving me a comment, that would be great, because I'm going to leave you a question. And your question today is, do you think Labour will be running the country? Or are the Conservatives going to win? You decide. Power Rangers actor slammed for plans to release Hitler quoting clothing line. Fantastic. Austin St. John, who played original Red Ranger Jason in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, said the late dictator had some good one-liners. Aye, make what you will of him. I mean, he might have been a fascist dictator and responsible for the death of 6 million Jews. But he had some classic one-liners, didn't he? The 49-year-old actor who starred as Jason Lee Scott, the original Red Ranger, in the hit 90s series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, sparked outrage after stating his intentions during an interview of podcast Tuned In with Jim Cummings and describing Hitler as a demon on steroids. I'm sure that's how he's remembered in history. Everyone knows Hitler was shredded. He later goes on to say that he wants different figures across history that were warriors of sorts, and how good or bad doesn't matter because with their quotes you can take what you can from them. So the good news is we could end up with a number of people. We could end up with Pol Pot, Stalin, Chairman Mao.
What about this?
You do know who that is, don't you?
Yeah, it's Chairman Mao, isn't it?
Exactly. The man was responsible for the deaths of 60 million people. I don't want him on my chest.
60 million, that's more than Stalin, isn't it?
It's not a competition, Soph.
Either way, I look forward to a new Power Rangers reboot. Bengaluru man dies after friend pumps hot hair into his rectum for fun.
Brother,
According to the police, 24-year-old Yogesh died after his friend Murali, 25, pumped hot air into his rectum playfully. What a quote! I'm not quite sure how one playfully blows hot air into one's rectum. I imagine it's in the same way a doctor playfully gives you a colonoscopy or a prostate exam. Police told News 18 that Murali was employed at the service centre where his friend Yogesh went to get his two-wheeler washed. Puts a whole new meaning on getting a wash and blow dry, doesn't it? Police said after the motorbike wash was done, both started playing with a powerful electric blow dryer used to dry vehicles. Murali first used the blow dryer on Yogesh's face, then his back, and finally filled his rectum with hot air, police said. I'll give them this. It's some friendship to be able to do that with each other. I can't even get chewing gum off my mates, let alone getting a homemade enema. But I would love to know who actually thought this was going to be a good idea. The anus is designed to blow hot air out, not take hot air in. Although it does sound like something out of a weird horror romantic novel, which I've decided to call Love is on the Rectum. Go on, said Yogesh. It'll be fun. Murali laughed and grabbed a blow dryer that's used to clean vehicles. He turned it on and playfully blew Yogesh's face. Yogesh laughed. Now on my back! Yogesh turned around and Murali playfully blew his back. Yogesh laughed even louder. All his playfulness had gotten the better of him. Within moments, Yogesh was bent over with his trousers round his ankles in front of Murali. Now blow it into my anus, he said, laughing. Murali thought nothing of it, and without lube or anything, inserted the blow dryer into Yogesh's chocolate cave, laughing at how playful this all was. Suddenly, as the warm, hot, filtered air entered Yogesh's body via the anus, his smile swiftly changed to that of terror as his whole body started to inflate like a balloon. Murali was too busy laughing to notice that his friend was about to explode. Then suddenly, bang! Yogesh had burst. Murali, in shock, turned off his dryer. Stop being playful, Yogesh, he said. But Yogesh didn't respond. Murali knew that he was in trouble. Fuck! Murali's face, that was once filled with pure joy, was now completely deflated. And scene. Anyway guys, that's it from me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to drop me a like and leave me a comment because I love reading your lovely comments. Don't forget to subscribe and turn that notification bell on so you can be kept up to date with all things Jack Queen. And if you really want to help us out, you can share this video with your mates. That'd be awesome. Thank you, and take care for now. My name is Jack Queen, play your cards right, and I will see you next time. Bye!